you're getting, guys. And these are basic money principles. It has nothing to do with a particular company or organization. These are just basic financial concepts. So whenever you're borrowing money, or if you have your money sitting anywhere to grow, take 72, right, and divide it by the rate of return. So let's look at example number 4, right? Percentage 4. So let's say you have your money earning 4%. 72 divided by 4 is 18 years. So if you have 10,000 today, in 18 years, because 70 divided by 4 is 18. So in 18 years, your money is going to take to double to 20. And then another 18 years roll around and it doubles to 40. Well, let me ask you guys something, right? In 36 years, do you think 40,000 will be enough to retire on? Right? None of us are going to be able to retire with 40,000. But that's us getting 4%. And most of us are not even getting 4%. Now, let's say we're getting 12%. 72 divided by 12 is 6 years. A lot better, right? So you have 10,000 today. 6 years from now, it doubled to 20. Another 6 years, 40, and so forth and so forth. So now over here, the guy that's getting a whopping 12% can actually have in 36 years, 640,000. Can we retire on 640,000? Absolutely. So this first rule right here is so important, because it tells you and I that we've got to find accounts that are going to give us a high rate of return. 12%, 13%, 14%, 15%. Those accounts are out there. Most people just don't know. They don't know of it. They don't know where to find it. They don't know how to get it. And it's certainly not going to come from the bank, right? Because the banks are not giving us even 4%. In fact, if you Google the national average interest for most banks across the country, it's a whopping 0.06. Now, let's say it was 1%. Divide 72 by 1. That's going to take 72 years. So even if you have $1 million today sitting at the bank, guess what? It's going to take your $1 million 72 years to double. That's a lot of time, right? Now, what if you have a loan? Because this concept also works with loans. If you have a loan at 12%, or a credit card, student loan, car loan, any form of loan, take 72 again, divided by the interest, which is 12%, your loan will double on you in 6 years. So if you have credit cards right now, I want you guys to take a look at the interest rate divided by 72 and pay it off before it doubles. Because you see, my friends, this is why most people are in debt and it's harder to get out, because they don't even know this rule, right? But when you know this rule and you have any form of debt, divided by the interest that your credit card or your loan is giving you, and try your best to pay it off before it doubles. Because you could borrow 10,000 today, and before you know it, it racks up to more than 10,000 because of the interest and compounding. So the first rule to money is we got to get our money to double. We want it to double, okay? Awesome. Thank you, Chaitram, for sending that picture. Now, the second rule is taxes, right? So believe it or not, when you start making money, or you start saving or growing your money, because now let's say you know rule number 1, you know where to go get that 12%. And we're going to show you where to get that 12% and higher, right? So now you're saving money, but what about taxes? We live in the good old USA, right? And Uncle Sam, we don't like him, but he loves us. And he's always going to be around us when we're getting that money. So when it comes to taxes, we got to know where to put our money so we can pay the least amount of tax legally. We're Christian people now. We want to do things right, right? So if you have your money in a checking account, savings, CD, stock, mutual fund, guess what? These accounts, as you guys can see, the triangle is getting bigger. The more money you make, the more money you save, Uncle Sam is going to love us, because the more we put into these accounts, Uncle Sam is getting a bigger chunk. Think about it. More money, more taxes. And that's how these accounts are set up, right? There's nothing wrong with them, but you just got to know how to play the money game, so you could take advantage of it. Now, does anyone in the church have any one of these accounts? And if you do, I'm going to tell you how these accounts work. If you have a job that's giving you a 401k, a 403b, an IRA, SEP IRA, annuity, some companies give 457. These are all retirement accounts that the job and the government are mostly the one going to be benefiting from, not you and I. Make no mistake, the government is the one that's really going to benefit the most. Why? When you put your money in these accounts, remember Uncle Sam is telling us, don't pay tax today, right? So we think it's a good thing. We're not going to pay the tax today. But guess what? When your $100 grow to $250,000 or $500,000, on the back end, later, this is when Uncle Sam is going to come to you and I. Uncle Sam doesn't want to come to us today when our money is little, 100, 200, 300. Oh no, he doesn't want to tax us on the little money. Uncle Sam wants to tax us on the big money, right? So these accounts are called tax later, because Uncle Sam is going to tax you and I later. And let me ask you guys something. Do you think later, 20, 30, 40 years from now, do you guys think taxes will go up? Or is it going to be less? Or is it going to be the same? Right? Ask yourself that question. Guys, nothing goes down. Nothing. Your rent will never go down. Your mortgage doesn't go down unless you refinance, right? Your bills doesn't go down. Everything goes up. The longer we live, cost of living goes up, and so will taxes. So with these type of accounts, right? If you don't understand how these accounts work, brothers and sisters, you guys are going to be paying the most taxes later, right? So although it's good that you're saving, we want to teach you guys how to save smart, right? How to save smart. There's good and there's better. So although these accounts are good, make no mistake, they are better types of accounts that still allows you to save and invest for your future, for your retirement, for your kids' college, and so forth. And what are those accounts? Tax advantage. With tax advantage, now you see the triangles are shaded in the beginning, because Uncle Sam is going to take his tax today. When you and I get paid today from our job, we're going to pay that tax today, because we don't want Uncle Sam on our backs 20, 30, 40 years from now when the money grows to $250,000, right? So all of these accounts gives you tax advantages, and rich people, wealthy people, make no mistake, they know these accounts. They love putting their money in these types of accounts because legally they're paying the minimum amount of taxes, right? So all of them have pros and cons. So I want you guys to please make sure you're setting up an appointment with Chaitram so we could sit with you one-on-one for your specific needs. Because like I said, every one of these accounts have pros and cons. I'm not going to go into each and every one of them today, right? So now when it comes to taxes, which is number 2 rule, you got to know where to put your money so you are paying the least amount of taxes legally. Because guess what? If you have $1 million and OdetteKing.com has $1 million and my $1 million is in a tax advantage of vehicle, guess what? I have $1 million net, no tax. But if your $1 million is sitting in a tax later account because you didn't pay the tax up front, Uncle Sam is going to come to you for your $1 million taxes, right? So we got to know where to put our money to legally pay the least amount of taxes. And when you know how money works, you know exactly which accounts you want to be putting your money towards to save for your future. Now let's talk about rule number 3. Everybody wants to invest. They're into Bitcoins, crypto coins, stock market, And again, there's nothing wrong with those things, right? But when you know what you know, right? When you know better, right? That's when you really win in the money game. So when it comes to investment, there are 3 investment options, right? You can put your money with the bank where it is absolutely safe. But guess what? You are safely losing money. How are you losing money when you put it in the bank? You're not getting any interest. Your interest is a whopping 0.06%. Most people don't even know how much interest they're getting because it's nothing. It's little. They don't get anything, right? So when you put your money in the bank, it is going to be safe, but it is not growing. And I realized this about 10 years ago when I had saved up about 100,000. I had my 100,000 sitting in the bank and I'm thinking I'm good, right? I'm really good because I got 100,000. I got my job. I have my 401k. The market is going up. I'm making money. Then the market come down. I lose money and I'm screaming at Jason, which was my Wachovia financial advisor at the time. So I knew that something was wrong. I don't like losing money, right? Our people, our culture, our community, because we don't have to lose, guys. You don't have to lose money when the stock market go down, right? But if you don't know these concepts or strategies, you're not going to be able to take advantage of it. So if you put your money in the bank, yes, it is safe, but it's not going to grow. You could put your money in the stock market, investment, right? Stocks, bond, mutual funds, 401k, IRA, all of those things are great. But guess what? When the market go down, your money also go down. And nobody wants to talk about when the market is going down or when they're losing money. Guys, I cannot tell you how many people last year lost money. Can you imagine losing 30, 40, 50 upwards, thousands of dollars in a matter of weeks? How long do you and I have to work to make up or save 30, 40,000? And just like that, overnight or in weeks and days, people were losing money last year. It happened in 2001, it happened in 2008, and it will continue to happen because that is how the stock market works. It goes up, you make money. It goes down, you lose money. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you know of a vehicle that allows your money to grow, that allows your money to be safe, you never, ever, ever lose money when the stock market go down. You tell me, where would you want to put your money, right? So when you have your money in a variable account, which is a stock market, you're not in control. You're not in control of your future, right? You're not in control of your retirement accounts. You're not in control of your kids' college accounts. You're not in control. You could have 200,000 in your account today, and if something happened with the stock market, now you lose money. So imagine all the folks that were saving money last year for their kids to go to college, right? Imagine if you were saved up, you had saved up 100,000 for your kids to go to college September 2020. And now what happened? COVID. Business were shut in left, right, and center. People were getting sick. People were dying, right? You no longer have 100,000 for your kids to go to college in September 2020 because the market went down, right? Or let's say you were scheduled to retire last year and you had $250,000 in your investment portfolio. Now you no longer have it. You lost 30 to 40%. Guys, I'm telling you, we do not have to lose money, right? We don't have to lose money when the stock market go down. That is super, super, super important. But why are we doing these things? Because we just do not know better. We're doing what everybody else is doing, the 99%, because of pure lack of financial education. And this is what our organization is about, teaching basic money concept, because you're not going to learn this from the bank, because the bank knows this. And if the bank educates us on this concept, guess who's winning now? We're in the driver's seat. But as long as we don't know this information, the banks are making money, the government are making money, and these private companies are making money. As long as we do not know they are winning. The minute we start learning these concepts and applying it to our money, we're in control of our future, right? So now, the third investment option is index. And about 1% of the population knows about this. Make no mistake, the rich people know about this. The 1% wealthy people know about this. They've been knowing about these for years, right? There's so many books that talks about these concepts, and I want to highlight just one right here. If you guys get a chance, grab a copy of this book. It's only $5 on Amazon, and it talks about money, wealth, life insurance, how the wealthy, not the poor, how the wealthy use life insurance as a tax-free personal bank to supercharge their savings. When you get this book, guys, this is going to be the best $5 you will ever invest, period. Companies, major companies are in this book. All have been using these financial concepts that today we are teaching the public, right? So what are index? These are insurance companies, right? They're insurance companies that you can save your money in, grow your money, and never ever lose when the stock market go down, right? So there's three places you can put your money. You could put your money with the bank. It's safe. You could put your money in the stock market where it's going to grow, but prepared to take some losses when the market go down. Or you could put your money with insurance companies. And I'm not just talking about a burial policy, right? This is not you saving money for your burial to bury yourself. No, right? Insurance company also have investment accounts. So when you save your money, your retirement money, your kids' college, when you put it with insurance companies, and not all of them do this either. There's only about 30 of these companies in the entire country that offers the index, right? So what does their saving plan look like? We call it the 4 cornerstone, right? When you're saving your money in these type of index plan, your money is going to grow, guys, up to 15%. Are you guys getting 15% right now? If your money's in the bank, you're not getting 15%. If your money's in the stock market, yes, you could get more than 15, but also prepare for losing more than 15, right? And when you're losing, you're not in control of your future financially, that is, right? So with this index plan, your money can grow up to 15%. Your money is also safe. That's what we all want. We want safety. We don't want to lose money ever, ever, ever. If America's at war with any other country and they decide that they want to do something to America and now our stock market drop, you and I that have our money in these index accounts do not have to worry. We can sleep peaceful at night. We can sleep knowing that, you know what, I have $1 million in my portfolio and I'm going to retire with dignity and comfortable. My kids are going to be able to go to college and they're not going to be buried with student loan, right? You're in control of your financial future with these index accounts. Because guess what? You're guaranteed that you will never ever lose money, right? Even when the stock market go down, you're still going to make money, 0.75. That is a guarantee in these policies, contracts. And then tax advantage, right? Remember, as we're building our wealth, that wealth has to be tax-free. Because again, if you have $1 million and your $1 million has to be taxed, you don't have $1 million. But if I have $1 million and my $1 million is already taxed, I have $1 million, right? So putting your money in tax-free strategies is next level stuff, right? A lot of people have money, and when I sit with them, you know, I have a client right now, I'm working with her. She has $2 million sitting in the bank. I'm like, no, why? Right? And this is money that she doesn't need. She doesn't need it for emergency fund. She doesn't need it for anything. She has 4 real estate property that are all paid for. They're income generating. Like she doesn't know where else to do with this money, right? She keeps collecting income, rental income from her 4 properties. She's single. She has no kids. So she is really stacked up. And I said, but why do you have $2 million in the bank? She's like, well, that, I mean, where else am I going to put it? Like, where else, right? So even people who have a lot of money, when we sit with them, we can show them these strategies to say, hey, move the money from here, because legally you're going to pay a lot of taxes, right? And because you don't need it, right? Let's show you where you can get a higher interest and it's tax-free, right? So tax-free is super, super, super important, because again, you could have a lot of money, but if that money has to be taxed, it's really not what you show on paper, right? And you can touch this money at any age. So I have clients that tells me, oh, Dad, I have a 401k. And I'm like, yeah, but can you touch it at any time? If you see a property that you want to buy 3 years from now, can you go to your 401k and say, hey, I'm going to pull out some money from my 401k to buy a house? Yes and no. You can pull it out, but guess what? There's going to be some penalties involved, right? There's going to be some penalties involved. God forbid if we get sick prematurely, right? Or I have a client right now that works for a Federal Reserve Bank. She was calling me to ask me how can she take out $10,000 from her 401k because she wants to invest in her bar, right? She has a bar and she wanted to take out some money to stock her bar. Now that's an investment. She's taking money from her 401k to stock her bar, right? To go make more money, to stock her bar. And she's going to have to incur a penalty. So guys, it is super important where you're putting your money. You want to be able to access it tax-free at any given point, right? And most jobs accounts are not set up like that. They want you to save that money until you're 59 and a half. If you touch that money before 59 and a half, there could be some penalties and fees involved. For sure, 10% penalty. And then the fourth thing that you get with this index account, everybody need this. Why? Because we're going to die at some point. We're all going to die at some point. So guess what? The Bible talks about leaving generational wealth. We just don't live on earth and not impart a legacy, right? We live, and then we want to make sure we leave something for generations to come. Not just your kids, but your kids' kids' kids. Your kids' kids' kids. How amazing is that, that we have this knowledge that we can put strategies in place to leave things for generations to come. So many of us are dying poor. We don't have money to bury ourselves. We have to do a GoFundMe, or we have to beg family to put some money together. But guess what? That's just the first burden. What about the people we leave behind? What about the kids, kids, kids? What about our spouses that we leave behind? If we pass away prematurely, 2020 made a lot of people wake up. They were healthy, and just like that, because of COVID, they passed away. A lot of families are in shambles right now because family members pass away prematurely, and now their kids are left to fend for themselves, no longer there. So in my opinion, this package, this savings investment plan, this fold box that you see here, everybody needs it. It also covers you with life insurance. And I'm not talking about your basic life insurance, because I have clients that tell me, oh, Dad, I have a job insurance. Well, guess what? Job insurance is not real insurance. Job insurance is not real insurance, because guess what? You're going to leave that job at some point. You're going to retire at some point. And is that insurance going to cover you when you're gone? I have a grandmother who is 76 years old. Her goddaughter, because she has no kids, her goddaughter reached out to me to get something for her. Because when she was working all these years, she had a really good job and she had a job insurance. And 5 years after retiring, she realized, oh my God, I'm no longer covered because I'm not with a company anymore. And at 76 years old, most people, when they get to that age, it is so expensive to get any type of life insurance. Even a burial plan is so expensive because you're 76, right? The insurance company, the way they see it is, hey, in another 10, 15 years, you're going to be gone and we're going to have to pay out this big lump sum check, right? So you want to get these things while you're young And if you know which type, ideally at birth, guys, rich people, when their child are born today, 15 days after they get that social security, they are putting $1 million accounts on their kid's name. That's some next level stuff that most of us don't even know about. But you guys are fortunate that you are part of an amazing organization that Chaitram is also part of now. And we can share this message with each and every one of you. So you are in position to control your future, your destiny, right? God is already blessing you by even putting you on this webinar to get this information, right? And now you know you're in control of your financial future. So you also get a life insurance. And you may tell me, Odetta, I already have a plan, but I know you don't have this type of plan, right? So with this type of plan, you also get long-term care, critical, and terminal. What are these? If there's anyone in the church right now that's in the medical field, right? You guys will know how important long-term care, critical, and terminal is. If you and I get sick, which none of us are, exempt from, guess what, guys? If you and I get sick today and we cannot work, can you go to your job or can you go to your health insurance company and say, hey, I need some money because I can't work. I'm sick. I can't work. I'm sick. I remember many, many years ago, I broke my leg. I was home for over 3 months. Unemployment is what I was getting. And everybody knows unemployment is not enough. It doesn't even pay your bills, right? But imagine if you have a plan like this, the IUL, Savings and Investment Plan, and you get a life insurance too. You get to save money. You get to grow your money. Your money is tax-free. Your money is safe. It comes with a life insurance. And you have living benefits in case your health fails. Show me a better product. Show me a better vehicle where you're driving and in control of your financial future. So with these type of illnesses, listen, God is going to do the rest. But when it comes to making sure that the lights are still on, the bills are still paid, this plan will give us a check. So personal example, one of my plan is covered for $1 million. I don't have any kids, but God forbid if I get hit with cancer, stroke, heart attack, or something critical, 2% of that $1 million is $20,000 I stand to collect every month. I don't need $20,000. That's not even how much I pay. That's not my living expense. But it's peace of mind, guys. When you have these type of accounts, it's first and foremost, make no mistake, it is peace of mind. Knowing that if you pass away prematurely, your loved ones are going to be okay. If you get sick along the way between now and death, you have a check coming to you because you can't work. And if those two things don't happen, you're saving and you're investing your money smart, where you're in control of your future, right? So that's what we call the 3 rules of money. Get your money to grow. Very, very important. The more money you make, the more you save, but it got to grow. Because some people might be making more money and they're saving more money, but is that money growing if you're putting it in accounts that are giving you 1%, right? It's not going to grow much. And if you have your money in the stock market where it can grow, guys, you're not in control of your future. Whatever your statement says, right? Back out the taxes, back out inflation, back out the stock market dropping. Are you really in control of your retirement? If you're scheduled to retire 20 years from now and your accounts, your money is any one of those 2 accounts that I just mentioned, please make sure you set up an appointment with Chaitram so we can show you one-on-one a strategy based on your specific needs. But make no mistake, everybody needs to have their own IUL. Everybody, because it's about saving money smart. It's about investing your money and never losing when the stock market go down. It's about having access to that money tax-free, right? I have a Jamaican client right now. She just had her 5-year-old daughter birthday yesterday. And I've been knowing this business owner for about 2 years. And for about 2 years, I was talking to her about sitting with her and doing some stuff. Timing was never right. She was, planning for her restaurant opening. She finally got it open. It's up and running. Business is booming here in Brooklyn, New York. And she said, Odetta, I'm ready. Let's sit down. Let's have a talk. I am so glad I never give up on that person. So glad. Because you know what? We see people every day and we think they're good because they may have a business, they may have a good job, they're driving a nice car, they're living the life. But when it comes to our money, most of us, because we do not know what we do not know, we are suffering financially. So we're like your money doctors, right? And to close it off, ask yourself right now, do you want to protect your family? What about your health? And your money, because when you have money, you can see the best doctors, right? You can try alternative conventional medicine. I'm going to see a herbalist 2 weeks from now, and I asked her if she takes health insurance. Of course she doesn't take health insurance. Non-conventional treatment or alternative treatment, the government doesn't, allow them to take health insurance. So I said to her, how much is it going to cost? What's your consultation? $500 to see her. $500. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's do it. When can I come see you? Guys, that's the power of financial education. Because when you know this information and you apply it, you're going to be in control of your future, right? So, in closing, I want to say thank you guys so much for allowing us to share this information with you guys today. We are always looking for people who want to also learn this, get their license, and educate our community. So if this is something that resonates with you, and maybe you're working, you're not working, or you're looking for something else to do that's going to be fulfilling, right? That's going to be helping people, and put in a few extra dollars in your pocket at the same time, because guess what? We got to have multiple streams of income, right? I think COVID has made it even clear. If you had a really good job and now your job, because of the market and because of the condition of the economy and COVID, now you're home or your job is kind of like unstable. Everybody needs to have multiple sources of income. Everybody. So if you're looking for something to do to supplement your income, get in touch with Chaitram so we can sit with you, because like I said, we're always looking for people like ourselves who are mission driven, who are selfless when it comes to sharing financial education, so we can all win the money game, because there is the business side of this as well, where you can learn this information, share it with your community, and be compensated really well. And when I say compensated really well, and as a professor here in New York making $100 per hour, it is chump change compared to what I do here. And I'm really making a difference in families' lives, because guess what? If I could catch these parents and show them what to do for their kids' college, fast forward when the kids get into my classroom, they're not going to be bogged down with student loan or graduate with $100 or $200 student loan debt that now they're trying to dig their way out, and they're not even going to get $100,000 or $200,000 job with that degree. Right? So it's a big deal. Learning this information, getting your license, and you can help people any part of the country. Thanks to COVID, our business has been a blessing, because now we can be on Zoom and help many families across the country. So in closing, thank you for having us. Get in touch with Chaitram. And then we could set up one-on-one to sit with you and see your specific needs, because everyone, based on their age, based on where they are financially, it's going to be customized to you specifically, and of course, how much you want to save and what are your goals. Some of you, your goals might be to save for your kids' college. Well, guess what? We can help you with that. Some of you might be, well, you know what? I'm already retired. I have some money. What can I do? Or some of you might be, well, I don't have any money, but I'm still working. What can I do? Everybody's situation is going to be different, right? So thank you so much, Chaitram. And I'm going to turn it back over to you. Oh, the title of the book, because I just read your comment, It is Money Wealth Life Insurance, and it's by Jake Thompson. Money Wealth Life Insurance, how the wealth. So I think because Chaitram is trying to call me from the church, he's getting some echo. So if does anybody have any questions, if you want to type it in the comment, or just thank you for your time, and